if you call a spade, you'll get labeled all types of names. Imagine Scott Agnes criticizing South Carolina and Asia Wilson fans for going after Caitlin Clark during her rookie season. Imagine the backlash.
In an article, he put something in there, and I don't know if he thought it was going to be a side note to his article, but you cannot call Caitlin Clark fans the dark side of the fandom. No, that wasn't the greatest or smartest idea in the world.
The WNBA has a new villain, and it's not a player. It's you. That is, if you're one of the millions of fans cheering for Caitlin Clark. An Indiana Fever reporter just branded Clark's entire fan base the dark side, igniting a firestorm that reveals a much deeper rot within the league.
This is really disappointing from a journalist so closely linked to the Indiana Fever organization. This is really, really disappointing, and it's really concerning in my opinion, because it is painting a 23-year-old on their team who is currently injured.
While Clark faces nightly assaults on the court, a media member with inside access decided the real problem wasn't the cheap shots, but the people in the stands. This bizarre attack is more than just an insult. It's a symptom of a league at war with itself. And we're about to expose the whole ugly mess.
Imagine Scott Agnes writing an article about the Reese's Pieces and all their negative vitriol, shout out to L. Duncan, that's been targeted to Caitlin Clark. Imagine the backlash he would receive. But what's the safe way out? What's the safest way to big up the Indiana Fever? Well, you tear down Caitlin Clark's fans.
This all started with an article, a single piece where a journalist, supposedly covering the Indiana Fever, decided to aim his fire not at a rival team, not at a controversial player, but at the very fans who have made his beat the most talked about story in sports. He wrote about the dark side of the fandom, a phrase so loaded it might as well have been fired from the Death Star. He claimed this dark side could seep into a team.
Man, this is very sad, very disappointing. It's disgusting that Caitlin Clark has to be subjected to this nonsense, and enough's enough. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. She needs to come out and draw the line in the sand, and it would not shock me if at some point, man, Caitlin Clark is just done with this.
The backlash was instant and immense. Fans, analysts, and casual viewers were left stunned. The message was clear. Your money and your viewership are welcome, but your passion and your opinions are not. This wasn't seen as a critique. It was perceived as an insult, a direct shot at the new lifeblood of the league.
Yesterday, they also announced the skills competition for the WNBA All-Star team, and she didn't make that either. So you argued she wasn't good for the Olympics. Your argument, though I don't buy it, but it was your argument, women's basketball, that she would be a distraction. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition?
What makes this so infuriating for many is the source. This is a reporter who is deeply embedded with the Indiana Fever organization. He has unparalleled access. He's at the practices, in the pregame and postgame interviews, and close to the players. Yet, while he found the energy to write an essay on the supposed toxicity of paying customers, he has been deafeningly silent.
Winners of 7 of 9. The Fever are playing connected.
Nasty, nasty. If y'all don't know who Scott Agnes is, he's a guy that's he's very close to the team. He gets a lot of access. He's in the practices. He's interviewing the players at practice. He's interviewing the players pre-game, post-game. He is very close with the team and has a lot of access to the players and the team.
About the on-court assaults Clark has endured. When she was shoved to the ground, met with elbows to the face, or body checked on her way to the rim, his keyboard remained quiet. There was no deep dive into the, quote, dark side of unsportsmanlike conduct. The hypocrisy is staggering. He ignored the visible aggression against a player on the team he covers, only to turn around and condemn the people who dared to call it out.
The ignorance is loud here, folks. They're only there for Clark. boy, you stepped in it. But that dark side can easily seep into the team. The Caitlin Clark fans, the dark side. Because they're very passionate about a player, and yes, they've put their money where their mouth is. So these people, these fans, feel invested.
This reporter's bizarre attack is only a symptom of a much larger disease, the WNBA's stunning failure to protect its most valuable asset. The league has watched as Caitlin Clark, the woman who single-handedly skyrocketed their viewership, has been treated like a human pinball. The officiating has been so bafflingly inconsistent that it borders on performance art. Hard fouls are ignored while Clark gets whistled for technicals for merely reacting. This inaction from the league creates a vacuum, and the fans have rushed in to fill it. They have become Clark's de facto protectors because the people in charge seem unwilling to step up. So when a reporter calls these fans the dark side, he's not just insulting them, he's ignoring the very conditions that created their frustration in the first place.
Indiana Fever reporter Scott Agnes has decided that now would be the time, now that the Fever have won a few games, now would be the time to attack Caitlin Clark fans. While, of course, and I'm not even going to go through because some of them are really nasty.
This entire saga feels like a case of professional envy wrapped in a layer of cognitive dissonance. The WNBA begged for mainstream attention for decades. Now it has arrived in the form of a single player who generates more buzz than the entire league combined. Her jersey sales crashed websites, cities see a tourism spike when the Fever come to town. She is, by every metric, a runaway success. And yet, this success seems to have bred a quiet resentment. We hear whispers that other players are jealous, that the old guard doesn't appreciate this newcomer stealing the spotlight. Instead of celebrating this rising tide lifting all boats, some seem more focused on poking holes in her ship. They wanted attention, but maybe they didn't want it to be for her.
By off social media, do you mean that they don't read the notifications? Because they're all on social media, except for maybe Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. You want me to believe, Brianna Turner's always on social media. You want me to believe that these players who are so addicted to the drama, who are so addicted to the outside noise, have gone off social media? Stop gaslighting us. We don't believe you. You need more people. We don't believe you. You need more people.
The most insidious part of this whole affair is the gaslighting. Fans are told they are not seeing what they are clearly seeing. A blatant foul is just, quote, good physical defense. A player getting leveled is just, quote, a rookie welcome. And if you complain, you are dismissed as a toxic stan, a cult member who can't handle criticism. This reporter and others like him are actively trying to control the narrative. Don't believe your lying eyes, believe my biased words. They redirect every conversation away from the actual problem, the officiating and player conduct, and onto the people reacting to it. It's a masterclass in deflection. Let's not discuss the flagrant foul that went uncalled. Let's talk about how you're a bad person for being upset about it.
You would think that sentence is actually setting up in defense of the Indiana Fever, right? Because when you're on the top of the mountain, when you're the GOAT at the top of the mountain, you are going to get all the arrows. You're going to get all the arrows. This is true in any sport. This is true in life in general. When you are successful, you become a target. It doesn't matter that you might have started at the bottom.
Here lies the grandest hypocrisy of all. The very reporters, pundits, and media personalities who spend their days criticizing Caitlin Clark and her supporters are only relevant right now because of her. Their shows are getting more viewers, their articles are getting more clicks, and their social media accounts are gaining more followers, all thanks to the, quote, Caitlin Clark effect. They are building their careers on the back of the phenomenon they claim to despise. They're cashing in on the very fan base they label as the, quote, dark side. It's a stunningly cynical feedback loop. They attack the fans to generate outrage, which drives engagement, which boosts their profile, all while pretending to be objective observers. They are not just biting the hand that feeds them, they're feasting on it. Nowhere is this bizarre internal conflict more obvious than the Olympics snub. The committee argued that leaving the most popular basketball player on the planet off the team was to avoid her being a, quote, distraction. It was a decision so baffling from a business and marketing standpoint that it felt punitive. This is the star who made women's basketball a primetime spectacle, yet she was deemed too much of a headache for the global stage. To make matters worse, she was also excluded from the WNBA All-Star Skills Competition. If she's too much of a distraction for the main event, wouldn't a skills contest be the perfect place to showcase her talent without disrupting team chemistry? The logic doesn't just fail, it actively works against the growth of the sport, revealing a pattern of exclusion that defies all reason. When all other arguments fail, the critics retreat to their favorite talking point: she's not the only rookie. It's a phrase designed to sound reasonable while being profoundly dishonest. Of course, there are other talented rookies in the league, no one is denying that. But this argument is a deliberate attempt to downplay a cultural phenomenon. No other rookie is selling out arenas in every city. No other rookie is tripling TV ratings. No other rookie is the #1 topic on sports debate shows. To pretend Clark is just another first-year player is to ignore reality. It's a weak, bad faith argument used to gaslight fans into thinking their focus on a generational talent is somehow unfair to others, when in reality, they are simply responding to the history that is unfolding before their eyes. As the pressure mounts, a new narrative has emerged. We're told the players are off social media to avoid the noise. This claim is, to put it mildly, laughable. We are expected to believe that players who are notoriously active online, who constantly engage with the drama and the outside noise, have all suddenly taken a vow of digital silence. It's another insult to the intelligence of the fans. Viewers can see certain players liking shady tweets or posting cryptic messages that are clearly aimed at the ongoing drama. This isn't about protecting their mental health. It's about maintaining plausible deniability. It allows them to participate in the controversy while pretending to be above it, a charade that only adds to the sense of dysfunction surrounding the team and the league. In the end, this isn't just about one reporter's poor choice of words. It's about a league and a media establishment struggling to come to terms with a hero they did not choose and a fan base they do not understand. Caitlin Clark arrived and remade the WNBA in her image, bringing an army of supporters with her. Instead of being welcomed, they've been treated with suspicion and contempt. But here's the truth. You don't get to gatekeep greatness. You don't get to decide who is worthy of support. The fans have chosen their hero. They cheer for her, defend her, and invest in her journey. If that makes them the dark side, then maybe the dark side is exactly what this league needed to finally step into the light.